Hi all, and welcome to the final DG update for this Rotary year. June is Fellowship, or more often referred to as Changeover Month. I also like to think of it as Gratitude Month. The last month of a busy year I find is always a good time to reflect on the many positive things we have to be grateful for. Living here in WA during a global pandemic, we should not only be the safest but also the most grateful people on the planet. Within Rotary here in WA, we've had very few limitations and restrictions imposed upon us this year, in comparison certainly to other places such as Victoria. As a result, as I reflect on the year that has been, we've been able to run an incredible joint district conference at Optus Stadium involving more than 750 people, and then celebrate our centenary in 1920 style with a truly sensational centennial gala at the Ritz-Carlton. This came together through the collaboration of two clubs across both districts. Whilst I'm always grateful to be a Rotarian, it makes me even more appreciative of our Rotary community when we can come together and work so well both in fellowship and in celebration. This year we had a fairly ambitious list of areas of focus for the district. For those who came along to your club's DG discussion and played along on your phone a little, you might recall this single slide from the presentation. A key aim this year was to improve the transparency of district and bring our clubs and district closer together. From the encouraging comments received from many of you, I think we've taken some very positive steps in this direction and made district more accessible and relevant. Likewise, we are hoping we can get closer to be truly Rotary WA by getting closer to the Southern District 9465. The Joint District Conference and Centennial Gala were excellent examples of this, and overwhelmingly the feedback was positive, with many asking, why are we not all just one district anyway? Watch this space. Like our response to the pandemic, we've all had to become change ready, and the future of what we know as Rotary has plenty of change ahead. As I mentioned during club visits, it only takes one person to change a light bulb, but the light bulb has got to really want to change. I hope with so many willing light bulbs in our district, we'll have a bright future here in Rotary WA. So speaking of the future, I thought it was only timely that, of course, in the last weeks of this Rotary year, that we, of course, speak with our incoming District Governor, Dee Buckland. Dee, welcome.
Thanks, John. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Very nice to see you. So Dee, I suppose a question that everybody's interested in asking is, what do you see as the challenges, do you think, for the district and for Rotary in WA over the next 2 to 3 years?
Oh, great, John. Good question. Thanks. The clubs are really at the core of who we are and what we are. All our clubs are different, you know, in types and size and people, and e-clubs and online clubs and satellite clubs, with differences in meeting times and locations, diversity, Rotaract clubs and Rotary clubs. They're all different, aren't they? And I think the challenge is finding the right club for your prospective members, for you and your prospective members, and encouraging everyone to look around and to join a club that really suits them. You know, as outlined in our marketing strategy, there is a Rotary club for pretty much everyone. It's just a matter of finding the best one that suits you.
That's true.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Dee, what do you see as the bigger challenges for I suppose, Rotary more broadly, outside of perhaps Western Australia, but including obviously what we do here as well?
John, as outlined in our marketing strategy, there is a place in Rotary for almost anybody, and just a matter of finding the club that suits you best. So our key strengths, Rotary is international. You know, we're professional, we're inclusive, we're diverse, we are fun and progressive. You know, we do have a fabulous brand, and sometimes the public are confused when we don't show it consistently. So let's focus on who we are and promote that strength, and have a consistency of our image, showcase our brand and grow Rotary.
Fantastic. I couldn't agree more. I think it's very, very important to get the consistency right. And that's the important part. So what do you think your areas of focus are likely to be over the next 12 months?
Rotary worldwide believe that we have a shared responsibility to take action in our world's most persistent issues, and promoting peace, fighting disease, clean water, and supporting education, growing local economies, and our new area of focus, which is supporting our environment.
Yeah.
Now, I've got 2 areas, John,
Yeah.
of focus for next year. We're all very much aware of the need for our environment and to save it for our future generations. And I encourage all clubs to just consider having one project next year which focuses on improving our environment, as well as all of the other projects that you do. And an option is to support the Planting and Gardening Initiative for WA to help our bushfire victims. So Rotarians with green fingers, even without green fingers, John, you can...
Good.
You're asked to start propagating plants and trees and seedlings, and to help the bushfire victims and start re-establishing their gardens. So there'll be more about that coming out shortly, but that's one initiative. So my other area of focus is diversity, equity and inclusion. Only 23% of our members in this district are women.
Yeah.
And only 33% of our presidents are women. So I'd like to get that ratio improved a little bit to reflect our population of 51% women, 50% male, to get some sort of a balance in there, I think.
Yeah.
And Australia is the most multicultural nation in the world. Exploring other communities and culture opens you up to learn about different points of view, other solutions, new wisdom, and it helps you connect and have empathy.
Yeah.
So I guess I ask everybody to consider inviting a guest speaker from another community. For example, someone from the Indian community or somebody from the LGBTI community. Have them as a guest speaker. And when we understand a little bit more about someone's community, then we can relate to them a little bit more. So we should also look to understand our Aboriginal community. Learning about Aboriginal culture specifically gives you an understanding of the vast history this Australia has. The storybooks challenge to convey the lessons of the struggle and the capture of that community. So it's an opportunity to understand the damage that invasion and colonisation has done to our Aboriginal culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the image of a drunk, homeless Aboriginal in Perth CBD is not Aboriginal culture.
No.
And unfortunately, it's a consequence of what's happened to them and their families. And so there is a wonderful group of Aboriginal leaders out there, and I hope that all clubs will consider an Aboriginal initiative this year. And it can be, a speaker on Aboriginal culture. It can be a bush tucker tasting. It can be an Aboriginal Rotary Health scholarship to an Aboriginal girl or boy. And just supporting an Aboriginal business in your area. And in July, there is NAIDOC Week. So I'd encourage you to attend a NAIDOC Week event and just getting out and about. I think that's part of what I'm saying, John, is, as members of Rotary, let's get amongst these other communities and showcase what we do.
Broaden our horizons.
Indeed.
And everything in moderation.
Yep.
Seems to be the way forward. So
Yeah.
absolutely. So Dee, everybody wants to know, what's the RI theme for next year?
John, the RI theme for next year is Serve to Change Lives. Serve to Change Lives.
Nice.
Which is why we all join Rotary, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Sheikha Mehta, who is our new incoming international president, Sheikha's focus in particular is on empowering girls. And empowering girls in education, in combating modern day slavery, becoming business owners, becoming leaders in their communities. There's so much that we can do to empower girls. As District Governor next year, I look forward to working with you and achieving your goals in your clubs and in your communities. So that's what's happening to me next year. John, what's happening to you next year?
Well, look, next year it'll be a little bit quieter, I have to say, particularly around July. But yeah, look, I'll still be around and still enjoying, obviously, life within Rotary. Being an immediate past District Governor is something I've always aspired to. But in real terms, though, I've joined been invited to and joined the Rotary Means Business International Board. So that will certainly keep me busy, and probably looking at shifting clubs as well. So continuing on with my areas of passion, which are mental health and youth. So yeah, it'll be a busy year, but I very much look forward to supporting you too, Dee, in your role, and obviously with Iniki coming in after you as well. So it'll be a busy year.
It will.
And it's going to be an amazing year, I can tell. You've got the passion, you've got the energy, and I'm really looking forward, obviously, to changeover, which will be great as well on the 3rd of July. So thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for sharing with us what your plans are for next year. And as I said, really looking forward to it.
Thanks, John.
So in speaking to our clubs, there's still a couple of outstanding projects that we're hoping that will finalise before the end of this Rotary year, but in likelihood they're going to continue into the next. The first is contactless card payments for clubs wanting to take money electronically from people and members who are coming along to meetings. Very shortly you'll see an update that we'll be sending around after we've assessed a few of the different options that are available, and we hope that you find that information useful. The second has been 2 EOIs recently put out, expressions of interest recently put out, that relate specifically to governance training, which will enable some of the members of our district to be able to improve their governance skills and to become a little bit more understanding of the role of becoming a director on a board. The second is a tech upgrade expression of interest, whereby district, because of the RR restrictions, has been able to invest additional monies and funds into clubs to help them be able to increase their technology and hopefully increase their ability to be able to do online meetings and be able to undertake online training. So those are a couple of the items that we have outstanding that are projects that are already in train that we hope to either finalise or get close to finish by the end of the Rotary year. So in terms of future projects, there's a couple of really interesting ones on the horizon. One of them involves a potential partnership with a well-known registered training organisation that may enable us to be able to partner with them to develop some Rotary-specific leadership style programs. The second is an opportunity to help with fundraising and maximising the use of funds raised through Telethon itself. So Telethon and 7 West Media and Rotary working together, that could be something on the horizon to look out for. So our shout outs this month start with firstly an apology to Bill Hardman from the Kalamunda Club, who was overlooked in the 50 plus years of service recognition at the Centennial Gala. Great work, Bill. 50 years is an enormous achievement, and we've appreciated all your efforts. So this month we also have a couple of very special awards to acknowledge, both of which were Order of Australia medals that went to Jan Owen from the City East Club and Andrew Liu from Elizabeth Quay. Congratulations to you both and well done. Likewise, big congratulations to Tristan Collet from the Elizabeth Quay Club for receiving the Volunteer for Multicultural Communities Award from Volunteering WA. Congratulations to you also, Tristan. I also wanted to mention this month as well that we will be chartering our very first club for the year, which is the Rotex Club, which will take place on this Saturday night. Congratulations to Rihanna and the team at Rotex. Well done and congrats on being chartered. It's also worth acknowledging Kero O'Shea from District 9465 for Membership Voice becoming a Zone 8 production. Well done, Kero. Great acknowledgement for the work that you've been doing in helping clubs and individuals get more engaged with Rotary. And lastly, a big shout out goes to Matthew Pham from the Swan Districts Club. Matthew is about to embark upon, or may have already embarked upon, his very first CEO sleep out for Vinnies. Congrats, Matthew. Good luck, and let's hope that you raise a lot of awareness and funds. Lastly, an enormous shout out to all of you for the great year we've had in Rotary. Of particular note, my thanks to those of you who have tuned into all of these video updates this year, and to the enigmatic Dean Fuller for filming and editing these and making do with the ordinary talent in front of the camera. On a final personal note, a huge thanks for the honour of serving this year as your District Governor. It's been a real privilege to serve in this capacity, and I've greatly appreciated all your support, your advice and your encouragement throughout the year. So that's a wrap on this final DG update for 2020-21. See you at the district changeover, where the district awards will be unveiled. Until then, stay safe.